I see a resident sleeper in chat. Ah! Hello. I'll wait a little bit. I'm a bit concerned about my computer. Can you guys hear my computer? It's kind of loud, and I don't know why. I'm not doing anything heavy. Actually, when I do something heavy, it's less loud. It's just, yes, we can. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I have no idea why it's doing this. Because nothing happened. I didn't drop it. I didn't update it. It's just loud. And yeah, this sometimes randomly happens since like 2 weeks or something, or 3 weeks. And sometimes it's just loud for no reason. And it used to be very quiet. That was one of the... When I bought this computer new, like 2 years ago, that was one of the things I was happiest about. That it was very quiet. Because my old computer, I dropped it from a very small height. So I was kind of surprised that it got fucked. But yes, it got fucked. I dropped it from like 20 centimeters or something height. And it was not even a free fall of 20 centimeters. But then my computer got fucked, and well, once I got that IT recruiting job or something, I don't remember exactly what I had back then, but it was something that allowed me to buy a new computer. I was like, Pog, my computer is no longer loud and slow. But now this computer, even though it's only 2 years old, is also getting loud and slow. But I didn't drop it, I didn't do anything. Any knowers in chat? What the fuck is happening to my computer? Am I supposed to buy a new one? Because I don't want to. Well, yes, I got a decent job now, but I don't have that many hours of work. I don't make that much money, and I have to pay quite a bit to move back to Korea and get a new room there. A second monitor will take forever that way, unless I can use an old computer as a second monitor. You can, I don't know, hook up two laptops together, of which one is very old and loud, or maybe this one, then it's not very old but loud. And this is also bad for my lessons. If my computer is loud, then they can't hear me properly. Stop calling laptops computers. I'm fucking about to explode. Why are laptops not computers? They do the same things as computers. They both calculate. That's all computer means. It's just a calculator. At least etymologically. Now watch the replay. Oh yeah, I forgot about that shit. Wait. I will have to switch scenes for that. Or actually maybe not. Wait. Yeah. I forgot about the replay. Classic. Ah, so loud. Probably just dust. I don't have like compressed air here or anything, but I guess I could try buying that and stuff. What service is your laptop on right now? It's on a book. I always put it on a book. And then, because then it gets less hot if I put it in bed. If I don't put it in bed, then I put it on a table. But on the table it also gets loud randomly sometimes. So it doesn't seem to matter. Indians also calculate. Are they computers? Yeah, I guess like Bald Eagle says, sorta. We're all kind of computers because we all are calculators. Blatm is a math guy, bad example for suspects to be androids. Why not LOS? What is LOS? Oh, iOS. It's not LOS, iOS. What is... Well, why the fuck would I take an Apple computer? They're fucking shite. I guess if you have extra money to spare, they can be good, but you know, you can get the same specs for half the money. Macs are orders of magnitude better than Windows laptops. Yeah, of course. Again, if you have the extra money for it. And I don't. It was a weird time, like early 2000s, late 90s. My family had Apple computer instead of Windows, like every normal family. Back then, having anything related to Apple was weird. Don't know what the fuck happened to that company, but in like late 90s, early 2000s, almost nobody had anything from Apple. I kind of wonder how the fuck they survived, but I guess they survived on people like my father. They were used by graphic designers and animators, blah blah blah. Basically, just creative field. Because back then, software wasn't released on multiple platforms. So, for example, Photoshop was Apple only. It was not possible to get that on Windows back then. So I grew up with Apple computers, and he had one of those computers with a single mouse button. It was fucking retarded. Watch your fucking replay, Jesus. Okay. Anyway, so as a former tech support guy, actually trying to help rather than bullshit you two options. Yeah, does this one or the Nepis fan could just be worn out? What can I do about a worn out fan? I'm doing it, Major. Don't worry. Just stop spamming. I just have to finish reading chat. And now I'll block the screen so that people don't know if you won or lost. Man, you're really impatient today. I guess this replay is really of high value for you. You really like it. If I'm losing it around, I need to show the screen for people to see that. What do you mean? If I show the screen, then people see the result. Mods help. I mean, the only mod in his channel is a guy I haven't seen in months and crazed. What the fuck is this? What is this graphic glitch? Split opener POG. That's something I also sometimes do. I have no... What the fuck is happening to this replay? It's already fucked. The cards are not loading. Sorry, but we have to reload this. Why do friends chats load after like 5 seconds nowadays? They used to load immediately. Hello, match history? Okay. Because friends chats get bigger when you pull on them. That's the second dick joke in like 5 lines in my chat. I guess we're going down in the age, which is fine. It's a lul. I was warned about this. Don't you want to see your message from months ago every time you open the friends list? I kind of do actually, because I'm not very good at remembering stuff. Anymore, at least. I used to. But sleep disorder, by the way. Oh, that was all. Okay. That's pretty garbo. Is this just to confuse him or something? I think I would have personally dropped it here so that you have better command over all mana tiles. It is closer to you, but you could still put shit here to make it, put it in a relevant spot. Nice meme. Man, Amara is such a great card. Don't have an answer to it and it doesn't matter at all. This is cool shit. Like this positioning. Some unique modern art, and I actually see merit in it too. What the fuck are Pika's draws though? They're pretty weird. Maybe I should put on real time. You play too fast for replays, Macer. They start getting wonky. Are we just trying to set up a big Zurel here? And this is a pretty good card against Vet, unless they steal your stuff, I guess. They could steal your stuff, but they have only one Sabo left or something. Maybe they play Blind Scorch, I don't know. People play a lot of super random shit in Vet nowadays, I've noticed when playing ladder myself. They're very hard to predict. This is not Indian food, this is mince. I guess anything that has some kind of strong taste makes me burp a lot. Damn, I wonder if we're gonna have enough time for Blatm's article, because my first lesson starts very early today. 8 AM Belgian time. No big Zurel setup. Feels a Batman. If you steal this, it doesn't go back into your deck. So that seems pretty garbo. 6-mana Fireblazer. Fireblazer. The 4-drop. Because then when he plays Double Agent, or the keep playing Pot of Greed. Stop alt-tabbing, don't worry, I paused this time. I paused, Macer. Calm down. I paused when I alt-tabbed. I know that in browser the game pauses, it freezes. But I don't know, this is because people read but yeah, it's fun, fucked for... Oh yeah, some tech advice. With the fans fucked for real, new lappy time, oh shit. Like I said, I don't really have money for that because I have to move back to Korea in less than a month. No, in actually exactly 1 month. I'm not gonna have money for a new laptop for quite a bit, and I don't want to have bad streams because my computer is loud, or give bad lessons because my computer is loud. For fuck's sake. Just got a new job, finally get my first payments in. I got my first payment like 2 weeks ago. And then I don't have any money anyway. Because my laptop, well, I guess I should be grateful that it didn't start getting fucked earlier, right? That it starts getting fucked now that I have a job. But it's still not the greatest timing. If it happened half a year later, no problem. But at the moment, a problem. Since RH is 30, that it's 80% of the time, okay. And I should order some compressed air, I guess. I'm not sure if there is a point in buying a second monitor decoy, because I have an old laptop in Korea. And maybe it's possible to use an old laptop as a second screen. It's very old, but you know, it has a screen and it kind of functions. It is also kind of loud, but I can just put it relatively far away from my main laptop. Zenrui moment? Stop sounding like a fucking landing pad for helicopters, computer. It's not necessary. You're not even hot. Why is the fan going Bald Eagle? Does that give you any clue? My computer is not actually hot at all. Anywhere. Even where the fan is, of course it's a little bit warmer at that part, but it's really not warm at all. Just slightly. And it's making sound like there's something launching. Performance. Yeah, it's only 60 degrees. I just looked it up in Task Manager. It's only 60 degrees. My graphic card. That's totally normal, right? Anyway, we stole back the thing that got stolen, right? Hey, he didn't steal anything. He just blind scorched it. Huh? Okay. I think PKP is playing some kind of sub-vet, but he's not stealing anything. Instead, fucking Mazer is stealing shit with Abyss. And does a very dense combo. That's Soul Shatter Pact and Rui, so yeah, it's basically sub-vet. It costs 7 mana instead of 6, but it still works. Well, it only works on things with 4 attack or 3 attack. But still. You can technically steal something up to 6, right? With double pact. Zenrui on 9. Revolker is a bit like Sloth for me. I found it very hard to judge how good it is. Because there have been quite a few times that people played this against me and I was like, oh, that's good for me, I don't care. And times where I got absolutely fucked by it. Same with Sloth actually, yeah. Sloth and Riftwalker are hard to judge, at least for me. Is this going to be a no replace, no, and don't play any cards? And then pass, just for fun? No. Oh, I was close to it. I was close to the prediction. I'm a bit disappointed you played a card at all here. It's pretty amazing that I predicted Mazer almost entirely correctly there. I said he's not going to replace and he's going to pass his turn not playing anything. He did all of that except he played Void Balls. It was close enough for how fucked up of a play it is. I think I was pretty close. Mazer replacing Grasp, that is fucked up. To be fair, PKP hasn't really played the game, right? He hasn't really played minions all game long. I really think they're playing some kind of sabo vet, but they're not getting any steal combo and just drawing weird. This whole game is pretty weird, but you know, I like it for the same reasons. Maybe Mazer will drop Zurel in the tower and then grasp something. But first we have to wait for PKP to finish his double turn. Maybe he has been playing weird because it's an OTK deck. Maybe Mazer just dies here to unexpected artifacts. I mean, there's no way he doesn't play Sabovet if he plays Blind Scorch, so yeah. Wow, what a great steal. I stole Vanilla 3-4. And it cost me 2 cards as well. I don't even know what is more fun here. Grasping that shit or just stealing it back. They're both pretty fun. Who plays last? Baby Rage? Well, not last, but half replacing last. Man, these red tiles threatening all this extra damage. Considering PKP is playing some kind of Sabovet, I don't think he has anything left in the deck to do anything, unless he stole some revs from the double agent, I guess. Maybe he just plays rev right now. Maybe he got it from this very agent. I guess PKP's entire deck is just, I steal your shit, and that's why double agent, yeah, now that I think about it. It's kind of thematic with Sabovet. I didn't think about it when I saw this card. All I thought when I saw the card was, well, that looks pretty 8. But yeah, it kind of makes sense in the meme. In the meme. It makes sense in Sabovet as a meme because you steal their cards. And that's what you're supposed to do in Sabovet. I kind of want to play Sabovet now with double agent because it sounds fun. Disgusting. I've been complaining to Macer about having fun in the game nowadays because yeah, my rating tanked so much. I need to always have something to complain about. What the fuck was that siphon? Just to draw an extra card or something? This is very dank though. Double agent keeper. Yeah, it's super dank. Hello? Nice. I guess you don't want him to steal anything, or I don't know. I'm just watching this while eating mints that make me burp, and just getting more and more confused over time, and I'm enjoying it. I'm also getting more and more concerned about being able to finish the educational Blatm content on time. Because like I said, I have a class relatively soon. Ah, Night Sorrow, nice. Also from Macer's deck. And they're dead. Are you going to play with your food, or... Yes, you're going to play with your food. Of course. Or is he on some tile that... No. You're just playing with your food again. That's all. Macer loves playing with his food. Are you a cat? Of some kind? You just siphon your own double agent instead. That could be a play if you know exactly what deck the opponent is playing. Like if they just have no siphon targets, then maybe that can be worth, potentially. But then it also depends on what they can steal from your deck, and if that's a bunch of garbage, then it's probably not worth spending the card. It's cool with Lightbender though. Because, you know, then you actually get value out of your card if you dispel something from your opponent and your double agent. It's much higher value per card than Siphon can do. And I don't know, the problem is that there is not much to dispel now, except sometimes against Songhai it can be okay, and of course against Vet. But otherwise it's better to just kill shit than to dispel shit. Which is true for Songhai stuff basically all the time, but sometimes you Why do they have so much health suddenly? What the fuck did they play? Did they spam rejuves when I was reading chat? I guess. I think Mace is playing with his food because he loves to make people go to fatigue. That's his thing. That's also why I told him many months ago, why don't you play Fatigue Liner? That seems really like your thing. And then he indeed played that for a while and enjoyed it, I think. Because he played it more than anything else for like 2 months. I was a cat before I became a frog, I'm not surprised. You have to assume he doesn't have ref. Maybe he already stole one of the 2 other refs with double agent in the past, so maybe he already knows that Mazer is bluffing. I mean, you're supposed to play with your food if it's Indian. Why? I think Indian food is definitely for eating. It's too good to play with. The only food you can really play with is like candy, because it's, you know, it's kind of meme food and it looks colorful and stuff. Oh shit, I missed the ending. Guess I have to rewatch. I was reading chat and then suddenly it was victory. Should I watch the VOD? Missed the whole point of the replay. Why do I read chat? Wait, I missed the funny part. You too, no Edna? You know what? I'll pull up the VOD on my browser so that we can watch together the last 2 turns. Oh, fuck off. No! I have to log into Twitch in a really annoying way. On the stream browser. This is not my usual browser. Because then I will dox myself again. Like I did 9 months ago or something. Broadcasting? Why can't I click my live video? You can do that normally. When I can go back in VODs of other people. Maybe like this. If I do the same thing I do with other people, I just go to my profile page. Intended for certain audiences. Oh, Mesa pulled a link in chat, that's handy. Wide mode. Okay, we here. Finally now watch the replay. The replay of the replay, right? It's kind of loud. And I don't know why. I'm not doing any this spell now. Except definitely for eating. It's too good to play together the last 2 turns. Oh, fuck. I'm a frog, I'm not surprised. You have to assume he doesn't have ref. Maybe he already stole one of the 2 other refs with double agent in the past, so maybe he already knows that Mazer is bluffing. I mean, you're supposed to play with your food if it's Indian. Why? I think Indian food is definitely for eating. It's too good to play with. The only food you can really play with is like candy, because it's, you know, it's kind of meme food and It looks colorful and stuff. Oh shit, I missed the ending. That's it? You fucking revved him? What was the point of this replay? Revving people is not exactly special. I know he was on a red towel. I guess the idea was, I had you all along. But I don't think PKP would have known. He fucking walked into Rev. I mean, he already did like 10 turns ago, and then you didn't play it because you were playing your food. He already did that before, Mason. I must be missing something. I came right in time for 1% authentic Varroka content, yes. It was double Varroka content. That's extra powerful. Watching a recording of recording because you weren't watching. I guess that's what Blatm means with most Varroka shit I've ever seen. Mazer, not only that one turn. Yeah, okay. The one turn you didn't kill him, yes. Oh shit, I missed the ending. Should be used soundbite. There actually are quite a few good clips for new stream notifications, but I will de-dualistize my stream if I start replacing all my, dualist graphics with my own screaming and burping. I think there's 2 conservative turns. Not sure if I had 2 drop. Then yeah, I also don't know. But nice meet, Mazer. If we now cannot finish Blatm's Harvard paper, he can blame you. He plays Sabo vs Abyss. But the point of this game was to show you how useless fucking Dispel is. Yes. I agree with that, Mazer. So yeah, I think when I start, I'm on my Smurf when I have some time in between lessons and shit. I'm trying to build a Vanner deck that feels good again because Vanner hasn't felt good in a long time, and I hate that. So I'm building some kind of Vanner list, trying to make it good. It's definitely not good enough yet. Definitely not something to bring in a tournament is what I'm trying to say. But it has been quite fun. And yeah. I'm trying to cut Dispel in those Vanner lists. I already built some that didn't have Dispel, but then I got kind of clapped by obelisks. So I want to find a way to not play Dispel and still win that matchup. And I think that's why Mesa wanted to show me this, because we talked about this a little bit in Discord. Now can we read the book? Yes. Latex? Maybe I'm wearing that. Maybe. Okay. Self-Bodyblocking. That actually also sounds latex related, self-bodyblocking. It sounds like some kind of auto-asphyxiation meme. What the fuck are you doing, honey? Oh, just self-bodyblocking. Okay. Time to get my whip then, I guess. Feels bad, man. Self-bodyblocking by Blatm. Blatm also sounds like something you would say during auto-asphyxiation. Blatm! 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 I came. Contents. Introduction. 1. Passage clearing. 2. Juxus. 4. Defensive technique. 6. Overlap defenses. 7. Funneling. Okay, it just got more sexual, I guess. It sounds like that South Park thing where you put an animal in someone's anus and then it crawls through it as a, yeah, apparently that gives pleasure. I find it hard to imagine myself, but it sounds like that because it's the word fun mixed with tunneling. It's fun tunneling. So definitely that South Park thing where you put a gerbil in your ass. Maybe on Canter and Dancing Blades. Yes, those are cards. 11 body blockers. This sounds like a medicine for either autism or depression, maybe both. Accessibility. I mean, that's also kind of related to disorders, I guess. 15 openings, 19 hard examples. I got a hard example in my pen. Let's just move on. Introduction. Self-body blocking is when you would like to have two allies occupy the same space. Impossible. Wait, how many pages? 25. I have less than 2 hours before I need to prepare for work. But I also want to give this. Okay, there are a lot of pictures. Maybe we can do this because I want to do this properly. Figure 73. Like I told you guys, we'll actually learn something today. Too bad my computer is starting to blow up. It's taking off. It's already starting the airplane to Korea, I think. Can somebody buy compressed air for me on Amazon or something? The bad part is I would have to give the address of my girlfriend, which I probably shouldn't. But, well, otherwise I can't really get the compressed air. I could, but it takes 2 hours to travel to my old slash current home. The most well-known kind of self-body blocking is corner provoking. The impossibility of this leads to many rich tactics. Okay, I'm reading like a Japanese or an Arab. Figure 1. Yeah, corner provoke, we all know this. I want this software where you can make beautiful paint duelist. You can already paint to talk about duelist, but this is much more beautiful. Here, the song I play would like to clear the archive of the heaven, but can't because Kyle occupies the space heaven would like to move to. The result is that heaven is rendered ineffective for the term reminiscence of Stan. Section 2 to 8 of this article outlines some common tactical themes so that one can play with more awareness and leverage or mitigate these tactics more deliberately. Section 9 introduces the notion. I already told Mace for this, but if I go over this Blatm article, I will officially be a Harvard professor. Because I am basically doing what a Harvard professor does, just reviewing 25 A4 papers, nicely dated and page numbered and divided into sections and numbers and using the word figure with a number. I am just checking if my student wrote a good enough paper according to the standards of academia. So you have to follow all the bureaucratic rules such as date, blah blah blah, figure, blah blah blah. Put your name everywhere. In this case, Blatm, which looks like some kind of acronym now that it's in all caps. What does it stand for, Blatm? Like bad boy, ligma, ass, trademark. Yes, that is your name. I don't even know what I said, but I think it was Big Boy Ligma Ass Trademark. I think that's your official name now. Where were we? Sections 2 to 8 of this article outlines some common tactical themes, so more awareness. I think I already read this. Section 9 introduces a notion of accessibility and effort to unify these tactical themes into a common framework. A very TED Talk word. Framework. So I will give you extra academic points, Blatm, for this one, because you use TED Talk words. Very impressive. Section 10 presents a couple openings which depend critically on self-body blocking. Section 11 gives some examples of difficult boards which are complicated by self-body blocking. Passage clearing. I need some passage clearing in my nose. The crux of the corner provoke in figure 1 is that Kelly's can't move. Provoke is not the only reason I won't be able to move, however. Much more common are situations like the following. Ideally, the Desi base would attack the Mystic and Arjun would attack the Fire Spitter, but it's impossible to do both. It's because Arjun can't move before the Mystic is cleared if he wants to attack the Fire Spitter. Yeah, I quite like this kind of body blocking. And this is something I think I can think more about, because sometimes I get self-body blocked like this, or I do it to my opponent, but I did it kind of by accident. I think would be nice if I could start thinking about this more in actual games, because this can be quite powerful if you force it. Possible to bow because I can move before. That's by self-blocked in a way that parallels how would be if a mystic had provoke. Call this the team passage clearing. Are some other examples. Can I zoom in? Yes. I think this is perfect. I'm not missing any text anywhere else or pictures, right? Yeah, this is the perfect zoom. Don't debate me on this. Perfect zoom. Other examples. I mean, these examples are not so clear as this one to me, so maybe we should just read Dancing Blades in Hand. Yeah, it's also kind of self-body block because you want to go where the gazer is, so you want to hit the gazer of the mystic and then move here in that Dancing Blades. 17, yeah. I mean, they're all the same concept. Also, this plays into grasp, so bad play, by the way. 3-7 high hand would like to attack Valve. I would like high hand to attack Valve too. I would like to see him die and suffer. The magma in the corner is Mechazor. Get fucked. Figure 9. Figure 10. Yeah, they're all the same concept, right? Figure 11. The 1-1 on the bottom of the board is your mom. Blatm. Figure 12. Why does Archon have 7 attack? Are you telling me you've been working on this since 9 months ago? Blatm. Really? Are you that late handing in your paper? You've been working on this since 9 months ago, maybe even more. I don't remember when Archon was still good. Let's read chat. I need answers to this. Why is that your first chat, Paralykeet? I am sure I've seen you before in my chat. But Twitch says this is your first time chat. But again, I'm sure I've seen you here before. Maybe I'm mixing it up with someone else, I don't know. Or I saw you in some other stream and my memory thinks it's my own stream. Because everything is mine or something. But yes, it is pretty pog as fuck, Paralykeet, if you're talking about his article. Less than 2 hours, Jesus fuck, a visual novel, superhero for day. Picture book you can read fast, exactly. Card games don't read on picks or skip. Hey, then we can make it before I have to work. Don't have to give address of your girlfriend. Pretty sure Kyoto has drop place and you ask Amazon to live too near one. Yeah, but my girlfriend doesn't really live in Kyoto, Mazer. She lives, I mean, it's still Kansai, but it's kind of countryside. That's why I had to really hurry on Saturday, as you might remember. I had to really hurry on Saturday because she lives in that kind of countryside where one of the trains is like 3 cars big and it drives only once per hour. So if I miss that train, I'm stuck for an hour doing nothing. And I wanted to be on time because we were going to one of those summer festivals and the fireworks would start at the exact time because it's Japan. So yeah, I had to be on time, and then I was a bit too distracted by the Gauntlet friendlies and shit and playing the game. And then I hurried and I was still on time. I saw the fireworks with my girlfriend on Saturday and it was fun. I really hope there is a section about how walking into a corner is almost always Sudoku if you don't have an immediate win condition following turn. I mean, it's not that's not really related to body blocking, right? It could be, I guess. Don't know if you saw this. So it goes again. Careful when you clean it though. Hold the fan so it doesn't spin when you use the air can. Hold the fan so that means I would have to open up my fucking computer if I want to hold the fan. I think I might have to wait till Korea then, because in Japan I'm fucking useless. I can't do anything. But in Korea, I can go to an old man that fixes computers. It's kind of funny that in Korea, old men are the people that are good with computers. In general, old Korean people, even though they can be a bit difficult for young people to interact with, they're pretty cool. Because they are good with that kind of shit. They all have modern technology and shit. They're old fashioned morally and politically, but not with devices and stuff. And they all work till they die, and they all work out till they die. They're very tough, and they keep living because that's something old Dutch people don't do. Old Dutch people basically die when they go into retirement, so around the age of 65, they're basically dead. They just keep living for a while, but on the inside. I used Roll20 for those figures. Is that some Farola meme that I'm not aware of? Is there some secret Discord that makes fun of me? And you make Farola20 to show all my misplays in digital MS Paint? It's a blessed source for easy 5e reference. Basically logarithmic and transformative math. I explained it 5 times already. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You have to think about the examples. That is how you learn. So your fixed 3 and 4 suggest look until you understand why it's an example. Oh, okay, we're going back, chat, and we're not gonna finish this article today, I bet. You should really take your time on these and understand them. Okay, we'll actually learn things. Now I want some kind of filter setting that makes all the sprites a single color to go with the chess grid map. Wait, it's not this good that he has been working on this during the whole year. Wait, it's not this good that he has been working on this during the whole year and I just started last moment? Of course, Maester. But I have to spice things up because people have no attention span and we're reading a book. People don't like reading and people don't like learning. Or at least they convince themselves that they don't. So I have to spice things up. Of course, putting proper care into your books is a good thing. Because I hang in a disco to catch your stream for a change though. Hang in a disco. I thought disco died in the 70s or 80s, whatever. Let's take the divine bond at 7 health. True. We're talking about Arkham. Trying to find Arkham to read it. A lot of things like that. Blatm is going to post after stream. Good. Other matters where Dispel is good. I mean, if everybody plays obelisks, yes. For example, you have to pay to access nature. Like that stuff is a well thought out one attack minion. It is. Sukuri is not the guild that promised land where nobody tries hard at anything ever. How many people have no attention span are Dutch people in the stream? Yeah, but I have a sleep disorder. I used to have attention spans. I swear. That's also something I keep complaining about, that I can't concentrate anymore. I don't have a sharp mind anymore, blah, blah, blah. It really sucks. But yeah, Bolt Eagle, what Mesa said, is an East Asian country, so not putting in effort is very rare. The Koreans that don't want to put effort into things tend to move to Europe or the US. I'm not even memeing. It also really helped me, Bolt Eagle, moving to Korea. It made me a lot more disciplined and energetic. Because everyone around you puts in effort and shit. And then, it makes you want to do the same. At least if you're not a completely antisocial person. And I don't think I am. At least I do quite enjoy being around people to an extent. Of course, I do need own time at some point, but yeah, I don't like being alone entirely all the time. One photo of Buff Pando in its prime. That sounds scary. The 02 Pando, right? This spell is not good for his obelisks. Why the fuck wouldn't it be? You basically kill their minion. I mean, if the dispel is very expensive. Of course, you can't win with just Dispel, but you can't say that Shrouding a Fireblaze is not a good answer. You pay 2 mana to deal with a 3 mana threat, and you get a body out of it, and they Not really. Especially if you have fancy garbage, then the 06 could actually fuck them. You'll see some 7-9 Archons, 4 6 Zorks, and 3 2 Fenrir. It's nice. Historic. I was under the impression that moving to a new country with a different language required a lot of effort. Yes, it does. That's what I was saying. That I got a lot more disciplined, and I started putting a lot more effort into my life. Blah blah blah. When I moved to Korea. Oh, you're talking about Koreans moving to U.S. and Europe. Yes, of course that costs effort for them in the beginning, but working in Europe or the US does not take as much effort as working in Korea. Because if you work in the US or Europe, you still have a life. In Korea, not really. Meanwhile, I'm a cave dweller. Feels bad, man. Now, you don't have enough disc of obelisk, yes. That is true. But it's not like it doesn't help. Sure, you can't win with only Dispel. But if they play turn 1 obelisk and you like Araki Shroud, then that's very strong. This early game pressure good versus obelisk Dispel is not. That's why I say Araki Shroud. Then you have early game pressure. And you get rid of an obelisk. And one who has a sense of humor about heralds has instant charisma. Is that what Cave Dweller means? I thought Cave Dweller means you dwell in a cave. How about 2390? The spell is neither necessary nor sufficient to beat obelisks. Mazer, can you show me replays of that for next stream? Because like I said, I want to build my Venom list into a way that I don't need to play this spell. Because I do agree this spell kind of sucks. That I do see quite easily. Chat over under 5 pages per hour. I think this is going to be a multi-stream effort for sure. I have to go in like 1.5 hours. So, and Blatm, you told me that I have to think about all your figurines. So we have to go back as well. I mean, this one is obvious, right? Arjun can't hit the Fire Spitter because the Dancing Blades can't fly over to hit the Mystic. And then we have to think about the other ones too after finishing chat. What's my best game versus Chocobo? Should we do that now, chat? And make Blatm cry? Just play Polarity You Regards. Yeah, but that's not a great card. It can be decent, but it's so matchup dependent and so dependent on what people, play and shit. This kind of dank with Zenrui, and we are living in a Zenrui meta. Measured in streams per page. Nobody's time to think on all the figures. I mean, I'll read the article anyway. So what am I doing here then? If everyone is just going to read the article on their own, what is my function in life? Why am I doing this stream? Should I just watch Mesa replays? So that I can play Vanner without Dispel? And live my dream? Because then I can play, Sloth Zoo, not just in Vet, but also in Vanner. Because that's kind of the list I've been building. Something similar to Sloth Zoo, but Vanner version. Just for fun, not because... Yeah, just for fun, because I don't think it's gonna be a good deck even when it's optimized. But at least it will be playable, just like Sloth Zoo. And Sloth Zoo is very fun. And then I can have fun with 2 different decks instead of 1 deck. And that's great. And then, I like Vanner and shit. I also like Vet, don't get me wrong, but... Variety is the spice of life, as some people say. And also, for the first time since months and months, I'm finding some joy in deck building and polishing a deck. Because the past months I just net deck shit, I just steal shit, and that's it. And if I build my own stuff, I didn't really have fun doing so. But yeah, I used to build my own decks. I had that memory suddenly that in like the open server tests and in the December streams and January streams, I built my decks really often and I tested new shit really often and I didn't care about winning or losing. and I came to new conclusions. Shit, I was experimenting and I was playing decks that were maybe memes, maybe not, and we had to find out. That was fun, and that's something I remembered playing Mazer Slovzu. So yeah, I should probably stream that in the future. The polishing of the Zoo Venar, Slovzu Venar, because it reminds me a bit of what I used to do in the open server test in January. Just try new things. Don't care about winning or losing. Have fun. Blah blah blah. Anyway, let's read chat. Um, Guys, I'm downloading Dwarf Fortress. Why? Most of the figures are easy, but you can't skip them. I said I will look at them. Plus one to replay. Someone will understand it unless you go over it, lol. I will go over them, I already said. So you just won't get it without your help. Okay. The plot chickens. I like chicken. You right or whatever. You enjoy polishing your deck? Yes. I like polishing my deck. I like making my knot shine. 15 minutes later, still page 2 of 25. That's set too much text. Yep. We should use more pictures. You know, his own plays weird shit, and if he makes it work, I wonder what solid process is. Probably the same, honestly. Like, Sola also built some weird things, and then they worked randomly. You know, in the first open server test, he had a deck that didn't play Fenrir in Vanar, and I think it also didn't play Hailstone, but it did play fucking Polarity and 6 mana Druglord, and I don't know, it was fucking dank, and definitely not optimal. But then he got to something optimal out of it later. Well, we're planning to have long duty stream without playing the game. That's most of my streams, but lately we have been playing the game because I've been wanting to play the game. I've been enjoying it. From streams I saw, he deletes the entire deck and rebuilds it every other game. Yeah, true. That's sort of it for people that don't know what Noedna is talking about. He builds a deck, he loses one game with it, then he deletes it and he rebuilds it, and he does it with all the decks. Like every fucking time he kills all his children and bears a few new ones. It's kind of like the circle of life, you know? No, I'm not going to sing that song. I'll probably get banned for racism or something. What's wrong with this new threat feature? What threat feature? Anyway, we're back on chat, so figure 3. I have to handhold Twitch chat through these figurines. You actually can't sing Disney songs without the written permission, not a meme. I have a friend in Korea, and her job is to sing Disney songs to children in English. It's like kind of like an English teaching job, but with singing and only Disney songs. So it's for very young children, for rich Korean parents. And yeah, she works for the mouse, and she's allowed to sing it. But I know from her how fucking strict these things are. Disney is a weird company. Can't say I like them. Anyway, I was supposed to handhold Twitch chat through this thing. They played into Grasp, so they lose anyway, or at least they should, but probably don't have the punish. Why is this a self-body block? I mean, it looks like it's face turned, so that would imply there's a self-body block for her. I actually can't handhold to chat through this Blatm because I don't know why you call this self-body block, because the Primus Fist couldn't clear the Mystic anyway. Like, I see a self-body block here, where Lilith has to move first before the Primus Fist can hit the Mystic, so that you can clear the Araki with the blade, but the Primus Fist couldn't kill the Mystic anyway, so I don't get it. Ngenyama Nengwe Enembala. Sure. Ah, Sorvea, Sadala, Boom, Mom. You can, I've done it. Well, me too now. Fish had threads where you can't reply to replies, but it looks like you replied to first message chain instead. So dumb. Twitch always puts useless updates that nobody asks for and just fuck people. Ah! That was so loud. Why? But thanks for the follow, Parley Keith. It was very loud. But yeah, again, thank you anyway. It's my own fault for making the notification so loud, I guess. Self-Bodyblocking playing around primes lot in Spain, you understand that you're playing around stuff. I guess. But then it's obvious. Then this is the self-Bodyblock. Yes, you do play around Primus on your Primus and Blood Tier and Void Pulse, all that shit. But you're not playing around Grasp, Blatm, so you lose anyway. Also, you're not playing around Dancing Blade, so I think this Venom player is bad at the game. I think there are many scenarios where two meaningful different position options are true. If you think they're actually good. I mean, I'm happy it's a question to Blatm. I don't even want to answer that. I'm already having a Dutch attention span. Anyway, what's happening in Figure 4? Yeah, the wolf will be able to clear the prime, the Blood Tier, and then Faye will be able to kill the Araki. Don't know if you want to take 6 against the business Vanor, but still. If that's the only answer you have, or you could also kill the Primus Fist if you have a cryo for this or whatever, or a Primus Fist for your lock, whatever. This must be the self-body block. It's exactly the same as here, right? I actually talk about this on stream sometimes, that I don't want to put something 2 squares behind myself, behind my general, because of self-body block things. If people had no clue what I was talking about during those times, well, here you have the examples. If you line up something with your general or even between 2 minions with 2 spaces in between like this, there are a lot of self-body block possibilities for your opponent. Yeah, Dancing Blades in hand, we already talked about this one. Here you can't hit the Dancing Blades with your 7 attack general. And that would also be able to allow you to connect. I don't even remember, I never played this card. I don't even remember if the Reju should be in front of the Shield Oracle or behind to get a free hit, but who cares? It's about the Dancing Blades diagonal self-body block here. You have to move the Reju first for your general to be able to hit it, and then Reju can't do anything this turn. Now a hand would like to attack Valve, yeah. But Jaxi can't hit the Reju first, and that's pretty sad. The Magma in the corner is Megazord. So you want to hit this with your Blood Tier, but if you hit this Magma with the Elder, it doesn't even matter. Now is this a self-body block? It's just a block in general. You have to clear these 2. Now, of course, I think he means the self-body block is that this Elder cannot move on down to hit this Magma, so that this Elder can hit this Magma. So this is actually a rare situation where you self-body block by being next to each other. So that's a cool example. Because most of these examples are stuff your opponent does, or you have 2 spaces in between, or diagonal. This is the first example where you're right next to each other. Nothing diagonal, nothing really related to what your opponent does. Well, they could do this on purpose, I don't know. I haven't seen the game. Huh? Yeah, if the Blood Tier... I mean, if it was 1 more down, it could hit the Megazord anyway, but if the blood tier was here and there was another magma here, then they could also just kill whatever. The blood tier fucks you here because and this here, this triple line fucks you because you can't move the elder down first to hit this and then move this one in front to hit this and so on. So that's a cool example. What is happening in figure 9. And the idea here is that you want to clear board, I guess. So you want to go here with Kalios to kill the Razorback with the Heartseeker ping. Kind of sucks to trade in your Mystic into a Snow Chaser anyway. But yeah, this is the soft body block, right? This is the same thing again, where you have two spaces between two things. That means you have to move one of the two things first before the other thing can move in, and then you might lose an action. And this example is repeated quite a few times. What is happening here? Let's we chat in the meantime. The top elder moving to either space will be fine. Both are blocked. In figure 8. I don't know what you mean with both are blocked. No, but definitely of meaningfully different because I'm going to blow up your mind now. There are scenarios where it is worse. Choose any of the two options rather than randomize between the two. I guess because it saves you turn time. Finally had enough time to read the paragraph. Had enough time to read. I finally had enough time to read the paragraph on screen, and I had Hayes a comment saying that D-Blade block is confusing because D-Blade doesn't block anything. The fact that you need to move first does. It's because of hidden infrared. Do you have any examples? Good players at least. Kind of get a deal, but then you have two ladder against Imo McKentor all the time. Lion Meg are good, shocking. Oh, but both are blocked. So well, moving to either space will be fine, but both are blocked, yes. Anyway, we're looking at figure 10. Where's the self-body block here? Or are we not? Or are we viewing from Lidar's perspective? If you have Dancing Blades in hand here too, this is kind of a self-body block, right? Because you want to move where the Mystic is if Arjun first hit it, then move 2 forward with the Mystic to Dancing Blades here, or something. That is a self-body block I could see here. But I don't think I see anything from Magmar's perspective. Because you can just, all these things have no health. So you can just suicide the Keeper first, walk one forward, suicide everything in, and still rush out something from Vindicator on this spot and hit with everything. I don't see the self-body block from Magmar here. Just the one from Arjun that I just mentioned, that you can't hit the Mystic with Arjun first and then move 2 forward with the Mystic because of self-body block. Is that what you meant here, Blatm? Yes, figure 10 is play around, Dancing Blades, good job, okay, nice. Figure 11. Now the bottom one is Mechazor again, I assume. Yeah, because you can easily hit the bottom, the almost bottom one. Just hit here and then hit here and move one down. So it must be about this one, right? But even if your general is somewhere else, you would still body block easily, self body block easily. For example, if Vav was here instead of here, then the egg would body block you, potentially, among other things, among other reasons. And otherwise, you would have the double space self body block here again. The Mystic can't hit this to open up the path because of this alignment. 2 spaces difference alignment. There's no way we're talking about self body block from Venar, right? Because there's no good play here anyway, with a bunch of magmas. Unless maybe double Razorback. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, that's double Razorback is a good play. Because it's lethal. I assume Blatm here means that Vav being here means, these 2 minions can't go where Vav is to hit this magma, and you want to hit the bottom magma. Figure 11 is self body block because you'd like your young sailor to die on A7 because of rebirth. A3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You would like to switch these around. Hit the magma with the young Scimitar, and then have the Mystic here, and you hit this magma, and then the egg cannot be killed on board. Because the Mystic blocks it. But you can't do that. Oh, can't you still do that? You can just move the Mystic one forward, hit. Okay, because then the young Scimitar can't hit anything without... I get it. Like, if the Mystic moves 1 forward so that the young Scimitar can move 2 backwards to backline an egg, yes, it can hit a magma, but then the Mystic cannot hit a magma. If the Mystic hits a magma, then the only magma this young Scimitar can hit is this one. And then the egg is in range. So here we have the same principle again of 2 spaces in between, aligning, and then you have to move one thing first before the other thing can move, and it fucks you. Like I said, we've talked about this on stream quite often. Not really like in a TED Talk way, not in this Blatm article way, but more like, oh, I don't want to put this minion here because then it's aligned in 2 spaces behind me, and then I can get self-body blocked easily. So most of these examples I do kind of apply to my games, but this one I've never applied to any of my games. This one is a cool one to think about during actual games. Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually thought about this and prevented this by my own placement. The problem with thinking ahead for those kind of turns is that you don't know what your opponent is going to do, right? But there should still be a way to... There should still be positioning that allows you to position in a way that no matter what your opponent does, they can't self-body block you. I'm not so sure though, because, something that can be more important than preventing self-body block is playing around Mercantor, for example. If you don't play around Mercantor, you tend to lose. I think Mercantor and Immo, Duelist is not really Duelist without them. Those are the kind of cards you have to play around. They are positional for the opponent, not so much for the person that plays it. But they do limit positioning really a lot, which can be a bit annoying, that you have almost no choices, which I think is the biggest power of Immo and Mercantor. I don't think Immo and Mercantor are good cards because of what they can do, but because of what they force the opponent to do. I think the way they limit your positioning is more powerful than actually being able to play the card, you know what I mean? Unless you play against bad players, of course. Against bad players, it's just amazing in general, because you just kill their whole board with a single card. But yeah, that is a bit annoying about those cards, that you probably can't really think too much about. Maybe I'm underestimating, maybe I'm too bad. maybe it's possible to play around Mechanta, blah blah blah, Rift Walker, whatever, Metamorphosis, and still prevent self body blocks, but I doubt it. You can also just play Songhai. Then you can play around fucking everything. Self body blocking is impossible because you just jocks everything in anyway. That's a way to play around everything and play around self body blocking done by your opponent or done by yourself or done by your own positioning and your opponent capitalizing on it. So yeah, that was some thinking that was unnecessary. Figure 12. Now we have to do some necessary thinking. Self body blocks. Oh yeah, this is a very cool one, but here you self body block because the Mystic doesn't die. You want to hit this Light Chaser with both your General and your Mystic. Well, probably not, you have 1 health, but let's disregard that. Imagine you have 25 health. You want to double hit the Light Chaser with the Mystic and your General, and then Archon can go face. But yeah, and the Mystic doesn't die. So it doesn't work. Just bore the Light Chaser, lol. That works. Just bore the Light Chaser, hit it with the Mystic, go face with Archon. But yeah, it's about this self body block, right? In this space. This feels like a self body block where it's really devised by your opponent, not so much by yourself. Like a good player could see this positioning to make it awkward for your opponent. And this stuff I do sometimes do. Not preventively. I don't put my stuff in a way that that I think, oh, this plays around them playing this self body block. But I mean, I self body block opponents like this sometimes. So I think my biggest learning point from these figurines is this one. This one is kind of new to me, even though I'm sure it has happened to me in games. It's just not something I've really thought about before. Unlike the others, Juxus, the example above are all such that the first ally was body blocked by an enemy, and the second ally was body blocked by the first ally. A similar but distinct theme is when 2 allies instead body block each other and wish they could swap places with one another. Associate the qualifier Jux to these. Here's a clean example. 2 allies instead body block each other and wish they could swap places with one another. I'm not sure what you mean here. The examples above were also the first ally was blocked by an enemy, and the second ally was blocked by the first ally. A similar distinct theme is when 2 allies instead body block each other, which could swap places with one another. And associate the qualifier Jux to these. Here's a clean example. I mean, if these 2 allies could swap, it would not be that much better. So maybe it's about a swap with Arjun. I don't really get this example because I don't think it's that much better if these are swapped. But there's also no self body block here, so I'm guessing you are talking about Arjun and Mystic, because the crawler is not going to self body block anything anyway. You wish these were swapped. Oh, am I supposed to look at the hand? Oh, because I'm supposed to regalia the Keshrai, right? The hand is actually relevant. Because then I get it. You wish these were swapped. Because now you can't suicide the Mystic into the Goalhorn and regalia kill the Keshrai. If that's the thing, I get it. This happens in games kind of often, in my experience. Figure 13, Arjun and Mystic would like to swap. You're the stronger player in this, by the way. You did this to your opponent. Yeah, that's not very clear for me in these figurines. I don't know what the mana count is, but it's kind of dangerous into Immo. But I guess they did this on a, you know, before you have 8 mana. Because with Keshrar you can 2-drop Immo is an 8 mana play. Because otherwise, yeah, Immo here is kind of dangerous. Although you could bait, even if Immo is possible here because they have 8 mana. You could be like, because of Keshrai, 2-drop Immo is their entire turn, and I have Mask of Shadows in hand. They have to play into it because this dies, so they have to stay near with Arjun. They can't move 2 up to be able to put a minion here to Immo. They can't even move 1 up. Yeah, they're forced to go here or here, which both play into Mask of Shadows. And the 2-drop itself would also play into Mask of Shadows. But that's not what this figurine is about. I'm just distracting myself because of sleep disorder. Frog is the song I player pictured. Yes, it's a thing. No, I mean, this is a screenshot of your game. You play this. Nice. Was this during the closed server tests against you then, Blatm? Because I remember that's when I played a lot of Gorehor and Keshrai stuff. That was my favorite Songhai deck in the closed servers. I played it a lot against you and against Solfit. And that was also the only time where I played Duelist, like in a way I was satisfied with my level. So not perfectly or anything, but much better than I've played on stream at any time. I don't know what was happening to me back then, but in the closed server test, I felt pretty good about my Duelist and and I was building my own decks and shit. I don't know. I was relatively not washed up, so I guess that's why I did this. Because I'm not sure if I would do this on stream. Yes, there was some close alpha opponent to solve it. Oh, okay. Playing against good players makes you better. Yeah, true. Maybe that's why I was getting good in the closed servers, because I was basically only playing against you and Solofit, and then once in a blue moon against Jay. That it really warps your play. Yeah, I agree with that. So maybe everyone will get better soon with the new ladder system that Mazer implemented. But I do clearly remember that I felt like I was improving and learning shit playing against you and Solofit. I don't think I do this shit anymore, to be honest. The washed up meme is not entirely a meme. So it's kind of cool to see that I used to be decent. That makes me feel like I can get my old level back at some point. I have no clue how, but starting to sleep will be a start. On the other hand, I didn't sleep properly back then either. Maybe it was because, well, like you said, ladder warps your shit. But also, I just moved to Japan when I played a lot against you and Solfit. That was in like my first 2 months. In my first 2 months of Japan, I had to do a lot of shit. And all of the new shit was really new shit. I had to learn a lot of stuff, arrange a lot of stuff that I didn't know. I was quite active, I was going outside every morning to see a new temple and stuff. I was exploring Kyoto. Maybe just having a fresh environment all the time and being having an active brain also translates into your active brain during games. I don't know, man. Maybe Frog in Love nerves his duty skills. No, I'm pretty sure if I'm lonely, I'll get worse at the game. Because then I feel bad. And if your son looks friendly for who plays a lot, you'll quickly improve to a level you'd recognize more. I mean, I do like the idea of getting good again. So, like I said, Mazer's ladder system change could be nice. Still good and still have it in you, but playing ladders largely uses, so you're essentially just rusty. I do feel rusty. Because a lot of the times when I make misplays, I do see them immediately after. And if I don't, then at least I see them immediately after once somebody else points them out. Because I feel like if you just don't see the misplays at all, then it has nothing to do with being rusty, then you're just not good. But you're not capable of seeing it, right? Of course, I have that too sometimes. Sometimes I mean often, but I don't know. I do feel humbled being featured in your paper, but I am your Harvard professor after all, so I shouldn't be shocked that you are sucking up to me. You want a good grade, I get it. So let's keep going instead of sucking my own dick. Autofellatio, new word of the day. A lot of auto-sexual fics today. Auto-asphyxiation, autofellatio. Are there any other auto-sexes? Auto-sexing? Chat, can you teach me some things about sex, please? Associated qualifying jokes to these. Yeah. Also, this is why Keshrai got in this deck at all. Yeah, the stream hasn't seen much of this deck. I mostly played it in the closed servers. Just in December, people have seen it a bit. I played it a bit on release because it's a pretty cheap deck, except Tasbor. But yeah, he was playing some kind of fatigue linear. He was fine-tuning that deck against me in those months and also against Blatm. And I had a lot of trouble against that deck with my backstab memes. So, Gorehorn's kind of garbage. That's when I started putting triple Keshrai in the deck. And then I went from like almost never winning to 50-50, if not a bit in my favor. It was insane how much this card improved my matchup against Fatigue Linar. They're so reliant on those spells. Because yeah, I really had a horrible win rate against him with this deck until this. So just something to point out for people that like to play Keshrai. You have to make sure there are decks on the ladder that really rely on their spells. Because at the moment, that's not the case, I think. There are not that many spells played at the moment, I think. Just Spell High, right? That's it. Of course, this is a good card against Spell High. This sort of point can involve 3 allies as well. Yeah, this is a bit hard to see, but these two are together, and this thing is also together, and these 3 are enemies. And there's no general on the boards from the opponent's side, so game over, I guess. GG Linar OP. But there is some kind of Jux play with 3 allies here. Yes, because you want to hit the Mystic with your Lightbender. That's the perfect trade. You want to hit the Bloodtear with your Mystic, because punching the Mystic with your Mystic doesn't kill anything. Trading into the Alchemist feels bad, because you would rather just punch that with your General. So that's a cool example, where you want to swap here, and also swap with your Mystic. So how could this have been prevented? Just Mystic 1 backwards would do it, right? You can just move here, hit, Lightbender here, and then Mystic can also hit this, yeah. So this Pyramid is something that can be... Well, this will never happen in a real game, I guess. Because how the fuck can your opponent spread out like this and create a self-body block? But it's still a cool example to think about. That this kind of pyramid could be exploited. Well, if you make this kind of L shape, reverse L, then this doesn't happen. I guess your opponent could just do different positioning to make it happen anyway. Mm, I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, again, this will probably almost never happen in real game, especially because you have to play around shit, right? You'll probably not make this pyramid because it plays into Mercantor and Immo so heavily. This article so far, something that makes me think about is, yeah, that I feel double about Mercantor and Immo now. And because I'm definitely not in the camp of get rid of Mercantor and Immo. Because playing around shit is about half of the game of Duelist. But again, it really limits positioning from the opponent, and then you can't really get into this kind of positional play because you will never make this kind of pyramid. And then your opponent will never do this insane triple self jux body block. So I don't know. Every advantage has its disadvantage, and every disadvantage has its advantage or something. There is some proverb for that in Dutch. Elke medaille heeft zijn keerzijde en blah blah blah. Every medal has its other side. Like every medal has an ugly side and a nice side, or something in English, but it's not a real expression in English. Here are some more examples. 5-6 Archon, disgusting. This was after everyone complained about 7-9 Archon for a long time. And then it got nerfed, and all the people complaining about Archon disappeared. A good example is Salty Simon. He absolutely hated the 6-mana 7-9 Archon. And then they deleted Archon from the game. And I've never seen Simon again. Thanks, Simon, for making me die to Trilucidator. Even though you're not taking advantage of this garbage Archon. Yeah, that's just one example. I'm not trying to shit talk Simon here. Almost everyone quit around that time. Here are some more examples of the self-ally jux thing. Right? I mean, you would like to jux these two so that you can kill the Araki with your rejuve, I guess. That seems like a silly example, so I don't think that's what Blatm means. Yeah, of course you would like to jux rejuve and Starhorn here. Because then you're less likely to die next time. But yeah, again, that's very silly. I don't think he means that. Boar and Araki. It's also not important to swap these. I don't get this one. I don't. Swapping any of this stuff doesn't benefit in any way, from what I can see. Again, except swapping these, but that's really silly. So let's rechat and wait for Blatm to spoil the surprise. Auto body blocking. Nice, a new auto. New sexual auto. Where non-spell high siding. I didn't really play spell high in those closed servers because I was trying to build something new. It's probably because you can win with it even if you suck, and because it's obvious. Yes. I think spell high is a very weird deck, Blatm. Because I agree with what you say, that spell high you can very easily win even if you suck. You can, and it can kind of cheat, right? The high rolls are ridiculous, blah blah blah. But at the same time, it has a very high skill ceiling. It's one of the most skillful decks in the game. It's both one of the easiest and one of the hardest at the same time. It's really strange. There is another paradox like that with spell high, that it can be very positional, but also like less positional than fucking Magmar. And Jux is the perfect example of that. Jux is also a paradox like that. It is and super positional. You can have very difficult turns with Jux, especially with double Jux. But it also allows you to ignore the board. It's very strange. Spell Eye is a weird thing. And Jux too. I do like the card, but yeah, I like it for its difficult turns and its positional stuff. But again, you can also use it to ignore a board. Very strange. Figure 14, the Lightbender, is yours. Yes, I talked about it that way. So this is probably an old message. Figures more to get you to spot things and recognize identify base patterns, not to be realistic. But wait till he gets to the Macantor section. I'm curious about that. Every rose has its thorn. Is that the real expression? Because I totally understand what you mean with that. We're so 80s now. Low pop games have player base who hold their value judgments in too high of esteem. Low pop games have player base who hold their value judgments in too high of esteem. Depends on the community, I guess. I don't think that's related to low pop games. I think you want to run away. If you're 15, you want general not to be in range of Rocky, and you want Rejuve to hit board. Oh, it's about surviving that way. Yeah, because now to clear the board with the Rejuve, you need to move one down, and then you are in range of a Rocky. You do self-body block them if you move only one down, and you can put a minion to block, but still you're a bit more likely to die, right? Because maybe the minion you block with is weak. If they had a movement spell for a Rocky anyway, then moving only one down means they also have the general hit. Well, if it's Jux, MDS doesn't work the way, but with Jux. So yeah, that's also self-body block. But this is the classic one, right? Where it's two spaces in between things. We have seen this example many times. Yeah, you want to Jux here, I get it. And the Star blocks Rejuve. The Rose thing is a hair metal song, so real expression is debatable. Is it fucking Guns N' Roses? Because, you know, Rose. I like metal, but hair metal is not something I listen to. I don't hate it or something, but just not familiar. Because I like hipster metal. Figure 16. This is the corner, right? No, I see new squares here. Because if this was the actual corner of the board, well, it would kind of be the same, I guess. I don't really get this one so much either. Because yes, you want the Jux here so that you can hit the Primus Fist, but you can also just move the Dancing Blades one backwards, and then you can also hit the Primus Fist. Yes, then you can't attack the Archon with the Dancing Blades, but I don't see the hand. I don't see a way to help clear the Archon with this, but I'll just assume that's what Blatm means here, is you wish you could attack the Archon with the Dancing Blades and hit the Primus with your Xerix. So yeah, self-body blocks where you want to Jux. Puzzle. Prevent Kalius attacking Arjun and Ghostlings attacking Blood Tier simultaneously. Oh, I like these kind of puzzles. Prevent Kalius attacking Arjun and Ghostlings attacking Blood Tier simultaneously. Sorry, concentration issues, so I have to read again. Kalios attacking... Kalios is this boy attacking Arjun, Ghostlings attacking Blood Tier simultaneously. This boy attack this boy. Ghostlings attack this boy. Can my Blood Tier still move? Because then I just run the Blood Tier away and cheat on this puzzle, right? I think that's not the intention, probably. I can also Tempest, then the Ghostlings cannot attack my Blood Tier. So, yeah, puzzle solved, I'll just Tempest. Ghostlings cannot attack my Blood Tier if it's dead. But then Cinderella was the band. Okay, I've never heard of that band. But then Dancing Blades is useless, and you have a hard time body blocking the Archon. Yeah. He's an example figure 16. Poison was the band. Potion. Run the Blood Tear away. Tempest. They're good solutions, aren't they? But let's try to solve it in a way that Daddy wants us to do it, and not in the way that our edgy girlfriend wants us to do it. Or edgy girlfriend. Prevent Kalios attacking Arjun goes in. So I guess I'm not allowed to move anything anymore. I just have to place something, right? I can also martyrdom the Blood here now that I think about it. That's also a way, but that's again the edgy girlfriend try to impress her solution. Prevent. I just can't fucking concentrate. I woke up at like 6:30 a.m. Not being able to breathe at night again. Prevent Chaos attacking Arjun and Ghost is attacking Bloodseer simultaneously. Chaos attacking Arjun? These things attacking me. How much mana do I have? Can I play both these minions? Because, you know, I could just wrap around. Just play me in here and here. And then technically the Bloodseer could, you know, it could still hit the Ghostlings, but their general would not be able to hit my face. It will be a garbage play because I play into backstab really heavily. This puzzle is a bit confusing, Blatm, because of the cards in hand, pretending that I can martyrdom the Kaido or something. And yeah, I don't know. It shows 6 mana here actually, so I can't play 2 minions. So I'm supposed to just play 1 minion and prevent that. Basic puzzle just to find best turn. 6 mana shows at the top. Okay, guess the solution is to put Rejuve below Kalios. I don't know. And Blood Tier Alchemist northwest of Kalios. I thought we decided we cannot move the Blood Tier. Because, you know, then I would just run it away. Easy puzzle. But I mean, if we're talking about the best turn, Martyrdom and Kaido really sucks. It depends on what they have in the deck. Like if you know they play Hammonds, you can absolutely not Martyrdom that Kaido. And then it will be better to Tempest Rejuve and just take the extra damage from backstab. Because you have a million health anyway. Martyrdom Kaido, Arjun to Kaido. Yeah, I didn't know if you were allowed to play any spells. Arjun to Kaido is hit Ghostlings, Rejuve behind Arjun. Blood Tier top left of Kalios. Oh yeah, then you have the diagonal self-body block. I think you need to clarify this puzzle a bit, though, Ben, because I thought I wasn't supposed to play spells. Because if I'm allowed to play spells, then, you know, I just suicide a Blood Tier and Tempest, or just Tempest in general. It's an easy puzzle. And like I said, I think Tempest Rejuve is unironically the play if you know their deck and they're playing Hammonds and shit. Because then you just call Martyrdom a Kaido. I shouldn't have used the word puzzle. Puzzle is find best turn, okay. We need clear jargon. Tempest Rejuve is awful IMO. You have Twilight Sork here. Oh yeah, true. I didn't think about that thing, recycling your Martyrdoms, so then it's totally fine. It doesn't matter what big minions they might play. Just play more Martyrdoms for that. No, in that case, I agree with what you said. Figuring out the rules is part of the puzzle. Yeah, that was the hardest part of the puzzle, was figuring out the rules. The rest was easy. Defensive technique. In the examples above, it's unclear whether or not to play a disadvantage by the film of so when I could have played better. Quite often, Was the victim of a corner provoked most strong players with regards to the decision leading up to that moment as a mistake. This is not universal across all self-body blocking motives. There are also patterns in which in practice seem difficult to avoid and simply good defensive technique. Sparring competitive players are behooved. Are we horses now? Why do we have hooves now? That's an English word, isn't it? Yes, you see a hoof. That's what I was thinking of. Why are we horses now? To familiarize themselves with common themes of this sort. Use a jog self-body block pen, which is often leveraged for defensive purposes. Unilaterally. Yeah, this I do relatively often. This kind of play I still see, despite being washed up. This kind of stuff, if I have to play super defensively. Of course, it plays into a huge immo, but the thing about immo here is that the body that is used to immo with blocks the light banner from hitting your face. Also, apparently you have 2 health, so we're not playing around immo anyway, because immo is lethal anyway. But I agree with what Blatm says here, that when you're a victim of corner provoke, it's not necessarily a mistake. For example, I sometimes diagonally block a minion if I could be weak to Regalia. So I want to make sure they can't clear my only minion on board with Regalia for free. Because if I do keep the minion on board, then maybe I can actually clear Regalia. Even though I will take a shitload of damage, it's better than not being able to deal with Regalia, because then you also take a shitload of damage and lose. So then sometimes, to have it still be in a relevant position, I will use diagonal blocking. So for example, Arjun is here, Kalios is here, I put him in here to play around with Regalia, clearing, I don't know, a Kaido or something. Especially if I have Jux in hand, right? Because then you really want it to live. Also plays around Blood Tier, Tempest, blah blah blah. Then it can be worth the risk of playing into corner provoke, because it's more important that your thing lives. Also, you might not care about corner provoke because you have Jux. And I, for example, also can do it again if there is some kind of risk assessment, or if there's no risk in the first place, because they, for example, already played all Silverguard Knights, and I have a removal in my hand. So the only other provoke that could come out realistically is Ironcliff. And well, the reason you have removal in your deck is Ironcliff, right? That's the thing you want to hit, not a Silverguard Knight. So then you could also just play into Diagonal Provoke if it gives you better positioning on board, because there is no risk. They either play Ironcliff to diagonally provoke and you get value on your Hillstone Prison or something, like good value, plus 3 mana, or you don't get diagonally provoked and your positioning is better. So these things are hard, and sometimes in general, if you're behind, you have to make plays that can be punished. You're behind, you have to play to your outs, blah blah blah. In dangerous late game situations where playing around leaders priority one frequently positions allied minions in a way that limits true self-body blocking. The number of enemies that can attack the allied general, often while hiding in a corner or on the edge of the board. Yeah, because here a rush minion cannot hit you while also Valve hitting you, right? There is Macantor in hand here. They have to move out to Macantor this. Yes, it's a perfect Macantor, but at least you're not dead to it. And then you do surprise 8 gates and a drop from 25 to 0. Because you survive one more turn with this corner self-body block. Not self-body block, it's opponent body block. So this is a cool example. 312. If that's out of hand, burst is 1 damage per mana. I don't know how much mana they have, but okay. Also Archon fucks with their damage per mana, usually. Like first wishes and stuff. So I don't know what the fuck we're talking about here. Puzzle. Find 20 damage. 7 mana. So this is not about self-body blocking anymore? Or is it like about clearing self-body blocks? Because, you know, suiciding the Mystic into the Flame Blood means you can hit with your General and the Kaido. If you don't do that, you have to move out with your General to hit with the Kaido. It also gives you room for a Boar, but that's not really necessary because Kaido dies to punching anyway. But yeah, maybe clearing here is more damage, technically. You don't do 2 damage to get 2 damage more, so that doesn't seem to matter. I guess it does matter because Killing Edge... No, you can just Killing Edge the Lantern Fox instead. So I don't know if that really matters. Anyway, the puzzle is find 20 damage. We have 7 mana. How much do we have on board? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need to find 9 more. Then we have 4, 7, and a Phoenix Fire. I mean, that's very easy then. I don't really get this puzzle, Blatm, because it's very obvious. It's just 3 from Phoenix Fire, 4 Killing Edge, 3 Boar, 10 extra damage, and you already have 10 on board. But yes, you have to move out. And suiciding the Mystic into the Flame Blood also works, but it's not even necessary because, again, the Kaido dies to the General, so you can still toss Boar. 20 damage in the action bar. Yep, it was right there. Well, actually, not in the action bar, but in the action bar plus Lantern Fox thing. It's a very large number of hyphenated words for a hammer and anvil tactic. Figure 12 veterans means Wadley is at 1. Figure 20 means Wadley is at 1. 9, 11, 13. Because of the self-body block, they have to move out. They can only hit with the Blood or the Mystic. Yeah. I mean, you should probably just Photoshop out the Archon, because how the fuck does Vet get 9 damage on 9 mana when the opponent has an Archon on board? Or you can pretend it's dispelled, I guess. But yes, then you live on 1. Because of this clusterfuck not forcing the General to move out to be able to hit with both these minions. I know what you mean. Figure 21 will be lethal if it weren't for the self-body blocking. So as an example of defensive self-body blocked leverage unliterally. I don't even know what that means, that word. In uniliterally, I guess something about unity. Triple Tiger. I'm going to Google this word so that I know what you're talking about. This indicates that something is done by only one person, group, or country involved in a situation without the agreement of others. The region unilaterally declared independence. So in unison, right? It just means in unison. And it affects to only one side of an organ, the body, or another structure. Maybe it's not in unison then. Any synonyms? Independently, separately, individually, apart. Okay, so quite the opposite of in unison. Energy means purely at the behest of one of the parties. I think you're trolling. You're definitely on purpose giving a definition where I have to look up more words. That was definitely on purpose. You can't get me. Triple Tiger, but oh wait, it's 20 damage from the fucking Lion-R, not from the Songhai. I don't get that remark. Then check the sign temperature, please. Monka S. Monka S for the rest of the duelist community too, then. Anyway, what the fuck were you saying about One-sided is a good synonym, yes. About 21 would be lethal if it weren't for the self-body blocking. But it is lethal anyway, right? Am I crazy? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you play Killing Edge, Phoenix Fire, and Boar. Oh wait, we're on 21. So we have 20 damage, right? So it is lethal. It's not lethal, like you said. 7, 10, and yeah, it's one off. I know what you mean now. The reason I thought it was lethal is because you say, puzzle, find 20 damage. And I was like, well, you have 20 damage. So I didn't look at this shit. So maybe the definition of the puzzle should be changed, just like with the other puzzle. Because finding the 20 damage is very easy, but I didn't understand you were trying to say it's not lethal because of the 0 on positioning. Unless you saw, as in one of the players just decides to make it happen, the other player can't do anything about it, practically speaking. One-sided indeed. Following figure example exemplifies one of the more common, more useful, less obvious defensive uses of self-body blocking. Less obvious defensive use of self-body blocking. Oh yeah, this happens sometimes, and it feels really bad when you are so ahead that you could just fucking kill them very easily, but then you have... Yeah, this doesn't happen often, but it feels very bad if you do this to yourself. All these 3 things body block each other when they want to go face together. And the worst part is, it will keep happening for the rest of the game. Once this happens, you're fucked. Because yes, you can... Like, imagine you go face with one of them, then the others can barely move in as well. They have to staircase again, or you have to do something weird, like move this one 2 forward and this one down and make an L shape, which I guess is better than staircasing again. But yeah, this could happen if you play around Immo and Macanter, right? So my point stands that the power of Immo and Macanter is not that you can play them, those cards. The power in those cards is that your opponent has to play around them. The limitation of your positioning is the power of these cards. Again, against bad players, that is not true. Against bad players, they're just amazing cards. They don't play around it, you win. 2 of them need a bishop, turn to desync, yeah. That would be cool, actually, to have... you know, we have flyers that can move anywhere. It would be cool if we get a unit, you know, just some units with some... that's also why I kind of like the boy, even though it's a fucking Magmar card. Because it gives you new positional things to think about. Because being able to move only one space means it's very easy to run away or block it, blah blah blah. But there are ways for you as the boy player to prevent that by positioning properly. It would be cool if we get more cards like that. With weird movements. But also playable, not bad. And yeah, maybe we can do that with a minion that can go diagonal infinitely, but it's not a fucking flyer. Because a flyer can go diagonal infinitely, but it's not really like that, right? Flying is kind of brain dead. I refer to these sorts of situations as overlap defenses. Can be used both to mitigate phase damage or to protect your minions. Overlap defense, I like that term. Can be used to both mitigate phase damage or to protect your minions. Bring back Prongbok. Yeah, that's one of those one-draw cards that I actually did like the design of. But again, I want those cards to be playable, and Prongbok, yeah, didn't really do anything. But yeah, the extra movement was cool. Preserving Blood Rage Mask. Yep, very obvious, right? They can't go face with both because you give the self body block overlap defense. This is a cool term, Blatm. We don't need a dictionary for this, and everyone knows immediately what it means. It's a very good framing of what happens. Figure 24, play around Revenant. Oh, so that must mean we are Vanar. How does this play around Revenant? Oh, Revenant will be lethal if not for this diagonal block here, right? 10, 12, 18, yeah. So what that means is the Rejuve and the Arcan can't both go face, right? Because they clog up on this square. So they have 4 less damage, so Revenant is not lethal. And that's great because Abyss will die next turn probably because of this garbage. Sunriser not clearable on board. Yeah, because of the stupid egg. Yeah, this is a rare case where you can make it a downside. Actually, it's not that rare that you can make the eggs a downside. But usually it does cost something. Like I sometimes hit a young Scimitar and don't kill the egg on purpose, because then you can play around Mecanter in cool ways, because the perfect Mecanter would be on the spot where the egg is. But it does cost 2 damage on something. Here it doesn't cost anything, the Sunriser doesn't die on board because of the egg body blocking Valve Punch. Or Valve body blocking the young Scimitar. Funneling, oh yeah, the South Park thing. One can sometimes position in ways which create a self-body blocking motif reminiscent of overlap defenses. I just imagine the Advanced Warriors UI with a movement value of 2 when playing Dually. Dually does need a UI change. Like it's hard to see shit. I sometimes just don't see minions at all. There's also a battle map where you just can't see the last row. You think it's the end of the board, but it isn't. That battle map is kind of OP for people that are good at concentrating, because then they can trick people that are bad at concentrating at this is the end of the map. Anyway, I'm thinking, should I go into this next chapter right now? Because my next lesson, my first lesson today, starts in 45 minutes. So maybe now that we're going into a new chapter, this is a good moment to pause. We are halfway. Well, in chapters, not in pages. We're on 9 out of 25. I think, I don't have that much time nowadays, so I think also next stream that we look at this, we might not finish it yet. This might take 2 more streams. But I'm totally fine with that, because I enjoy reading this. And I'm sure there will be more stuff to learn from it. So far, for me personally, totally disregarding all the people in my chat, the thing that was the newest for me was this this line of minions self-body blocking. The Elders. This one I never really thought about. The other ones I think about often enough. But we're also not even halfway in pages, so I'm sure we're gonna learn more. And I'm sure if there were new players in chat, they already learned some shit, right? Any questions, chat? Any questions? I'm just hijacking Blatm's content to pretend I'm the teacher instead of him. I steal decks, I steal content. What else did you expect? Don't blame me, blame you for watching me. I love figure 26 so much, then maybe I should look at that a bit more. Oh, that's next. It's this one. I believe figure 26 is from your stream. Maybe I'll remember it then. Funnel these, nice. Nice me. Slow burn sounds like good content for this. I guess it is a lot to take in if you do it on a fast burner, right? Anyway, I do want to look at this because Blatm says he likes figure 26 so much. We can sometimes position weight which creates a self-blocking motive for an instant of overlap defenses. Call this funneling. As if overlap defenses, these can be used to avoid bad trades or to avoid lethal threats. You mean that the ghost links, if it wants to hit a mystic here, you can't clear it. Your general can't move there, and vice versa. Call this funneling. Oh, yeah, this word is weird to me. Does it have a meaning already? Guide or channel something through, or as if through a funnel. Some 12.8 billion is funneled through the Marshall Plan. So it's like to transfer or direct. Yeah, there's direct as a synonym here. Move be guided through as if through a funnel. What the fuck is a funnel? Is that kind of fishnet? No, it's a trechter. It's a fucking trechter. Then what the fuck is fuik in English? Trap? It's not a fucking trap. I guess a fish pot could be correct. I mean, technically this is a trap for fish, but... No, not a fucking aquarium. No, fuck you. Google wanted to spy on me as usual. Fuik. It's a special net for fishing. Fish trap? I'll Google that. Yeah, these kind of things. This is what I mean with fuik. This is a fish trap. Not to be confused with a mermaid. Okay, that was a very good joke. Chat, you have to clip this and send it to Twitch headquarters and to every family member and friend you know. Because that was an amazing joke and you should make sure I become famous from it. This can be a voice to be bad race to avoid lethal threats. I don't really get the difference between self-body blocking, like the defensive overlap, and funneling. It looks the same to me, but I guess we'll figure that out next time. So we also have a cliffhanger. How amazing. Find out on the next episode of Verocca Stream what the difference is between funneling and defensive overlap. What was the proper term? Overlap defenses. Yeah, I like this term. It's very, very easy to understand. I like Magmar Brain. 10-10 joke, I know, right? I don't think there's a word for fuik in English. Yeah, I mean, it's not an English word, so you're correct, I guess. Funneling is overlap defensive with extra steps. I think Blatm should spoil that next time, right? Otherwise the cliffhanger doesn't work anymore. In practice they feel very different to me. Okay, stop spoiling. But because this is my cliffhanger. I'm sure the 10 people in my chat will return for next stream to find out the difference between these two things. As long as you don't fucking spoil it right now. Jargon creep is real, I know, right? Is that the proper pronunciation in English? Jargon? It sounds so ugly. We have this word in Dutch too, but we say jargon. Jargon. Ugh. Man, I'm dying speaking my own language. But jargon sounds even worse.
Jargon.
Jargon. Jargon.
Jargon.
This voice should be illegal. Yeah, it sounds like jogging. What the hell is happening? You would know, Mazer, if you were watching the stream. So, I'm not gonna help you. But I don't like introducing jargon for purpose outside of this article. Later on I need to reference stuff, so I need to give them some name. Yeah, and that's why I'm a fan of your defensive overlap. Because that is very easy to understand. Very easy name. I was busy with Dula stuff. Nice. What did you make? Any spoilers? Because if no spoilers, this is the end. I'm gonna have to prepare for work. Feels okay, man. That's not a real spoiler. That's more of a. You'll find out if you're patient enough. Smiley, froggy face. Oh, I'm getting pinged on Discord, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this on stream. But so I'm gonna wait and see if I'm allowed to spoil this. So I'll just suck on some mint. Stop the stream and I will tell you. Okay. So I guess it means I'm not allowed to spoil it. Well, I want to know the spoiler, chat, so fuck you.